In 2020, I made a video where I compared EPSXE emulation against real PlayStation hardware and you folks loved it. It's still my most successful video at the time of recording. However, a few of you pointed out other emulators that I should check out. One such emulator was Duckstation. It has a ridiculous name, but this ducky has punch. A lot of it. When you find out that the people behind this emulator worked on the amazing Dolphin emulator, suddenly we might have a winner. Duckstation is still in beta at this time, so it could get even better. Right now, I want to see how this emulator fares compared to playing the same games on real hardware. These are the settings that I used for Duckstation. As you can see, we are not messing about here. I put everything as high as graphically possible, and I even enabled special features such as less texture warping and texture correction. The PS1 will be using the OSSC and my trusty RGB SCART cable at line 5x mode. Now, let's see what's what. We'll begin with Vagrant Story. The prelude cutscene will serve as our visual benchmark as it uses in-game graphics and we can repeat the action easily. You are currently seeing the Duckstation footage. All I can say is, wow, I mean it. Everything is so easy to see and details that I couldn't see are now easily discernible. You won't appreciate the graphical differences until you bring in the footage on real hardware. See what I mean? Now we have a lot of dithering, the overall detail has dropped or has smeared due to the 240p or 288p resolution, and 3D models lose detail when viewed far away from the camera. This dramatic change really hammers home how much detail was put into these PlayStation games, and yet until emulation and high resolutions became available, we could never see it. Let's try Resident Evil 3 next. This game has 3D models on 2D pre-rendered backgrounds, so it'll be interesting to see how Duckstation fares. One thing that was incredible to me was the detail of the 3D models. They literally fly off the screen and are just a sight to behold. But this game also highlights a few problems akin to this emulator. First, the character models animate strangely at times and their bodies seem to morph a little bit. Secondly, the 2D backgrounds are very blurry. Anything that is rendered in 3D sticks out like a sore thumb, breaking the immersion while playing the game. Lastly, after every camera cut, there is a brief stutter which can cut into the game audio. The game still works and is fun to play, but hopefully some updates to Duckstation should resolve these issues in the future. I had much better luck with Battle Arena Toshinden 2. Yes, this game isn't good, but graphically it's pretty good and fairly detailed. Even on real hardware, the details on display would make anyone happy. Duckstation takes that concept and elevates it to 11. I kid you not, I was blown away by what was on my 4K display. The sharpness and little details that I found while playing on Duckstation made me realise how cheated we all were. How dare these developers hide their hard work in a 240p 288p system? Okay, that's a joke, but when Duckstation works with the right game, holy shit does it deliver. Now, I want to test the game with true 16:9 support. Toca World Touring Cars is the game in question. This is a great looking racing game that has many elements of 2D and 3D models that work in tandem to immerse you into the experience. Between the two, Duckstation's additional features like texture correction works beautifully in this game. Check it out, a lot of wiggly jiggly lines become this. Again, Many details that flat out couldn't be seen on real hardware show up like a bright candle using the 4K resolution. I tell you, Duckstation is very, very impressive. Right, how about a 2D game with 2D sprites? Pocket Fighter will do nicely. To be honest, I can't really see much of a difference. Yes, the Duckstation emulator has a higher resolution base and looks sharper, but actual detail remains the same. I guess the use of dithering is eliminated from Duckstation, but it wasn't exactly covered in dithering to begin with. At least we can say Duckstation doesn't blur these types of games. Next up, Demolition Racer. This game is much better on Duckstation. Every detail from real hardware is replicated properly on the emulator, and damn, the turbo boost from the increased resolution is very welcome. I just love how the game looks like it could be a PC port rather than a PlayStation release. Look at how the game looks far smoother, even on the textures that curve. It looks more believable now. Just insane how much better this game looks thanks to all the changes made possible by Duckstation. Lastly, let's check out Dead or Alive. This game uses interlacing during gameplay, so I wanted to see how well the Duckstation emulator deals with this. Sadly, in this game, not very well. As you can see, there's combing artifacts everywhere, making the experience very disappointing. Even with the de-interlacing mode ticked, the results are exactly the same. If the image keeps still, you can see amazing clarity in the characters, and once again, they pop off the screen. Although this is definitely more detailed than on real hardware, this huge flaw makes me say skip playing Dead or Alive on Duckstation. Amazingly though, after recording other high-res PlayStation 1 games, they work just fine. Yeah, I know, that makes no sense to me either. Hopefully this particular game can be fixed in the future update. Okay, I'll show off the rest of the games that I tested on Duckstation against real hardware using a montage. Check them out and enjoy. Well folks, that was Duckstation against real PlayStation hardware. I have to admit, Duckstation blew me away. Although not perfect, this Ducky is very good at making it easy to play your favourite PlayStation games in very high quality and without needing a supercomputer to make it possible. You can even get this on Android devices nowadays. There are some issues I'd love to see fixed for the future. Fix the de-interlacing toggle so that all games that have interlaced video output get de-interlaced. Make it possible to play my real PlayStation discs on the application, since I was not able to do this, yet I still can using EPSXC, and improve the experience with games that seem to frame skip when camera angles change or when a disc needs to load data. Otherwise, if you want to give this emulator a go, trust me, you will love what it brings to the table. Right, let me know what you think of this emulator, and until my next video, I will see you soon.